Breaking news. According to TMZ, Britney Spears needs another conservatorship. Now, at the time of the recording of this video, it is 7:28 a.m. where I am on the East Coast. And this article was posted 3 hours ago to TMZ. That means it was posted at 4:30 in the morning Eastern and 1:30 in the morning where Britney Spears is and where TMZ is based. So let me pull this headline up, y'all, because let's just get right into it. Now, here is the article. I am going to put it in reader view, but I wanted y'all to see that it is TMZ and they are claiming to have an exclusive. Okay, so what exclusive source are they going to cite? Who is this exclusive source? Well, it'll probably not come as a surprise to you to know that they don't name who the source is. And, this comes 2 weeks after that other weirdo came onto TMZ, couldn't keep his damn eyes open, never has seen or treated Britney Spears, never has been Britney Spears' doctor. Britney Spears has never been treated by this man. And he was basically trying to diagnose her in front of all of us with all kinds of things, needing a conservatorship, trying to forcibly medicate her against her will.
Actual process needs to be in place because when you have a mental illness to this degree, you need that kind of structure, supervision, and most importantly, to take your medication. This is a no medication situation. Either she'll hurt herself, she might hurt someone else, or she can be 5150 because she's not being able to take care of herself. Then medication can be given to her against her will. She slowly is unraveling. And it was in place and she wasn't unraveling. She might not have been happy, but she was stable. Medication, put it in her. If she doesn't want to take it, I would inject it in her.
Wow,
that was literally 2 weeks ago. So here we are today. Look, they even put the time here, 1 a.m. Yeah, they posted this article at 1 o'clock in the morning. So let's see what it says. Britney Spears needs a conservatorship. New reporting on substances and surveillance. Britney Spears' conservatorship vital to survival. The woman was being trafficked. And look, listen, this is not something new. This is not something surprising. This is not something that is even for the first time they've done this. Like I said, they just tried to do it 2 weeks ago. But as we're reading through this article, I want y'all to remember way back in 2019, if you were around, if you were not, you can just simply go and look up the news articles. But they were saying very similar stuff to this about Britney whenever the movement was first starting. Then throughout pretty much the entirety of the Free Britney movement, pretty much until that New York Times Framing Britney Spears documentary came out, it was more of this, where it was like, no, she really needs it. People close to her think she needs it. People close to her say she's freaking out. People close to her, but come to find out, then people close to her were making millions of dollars off her back. Then people close to her were drugging her. The people close to her were basically lobotomizing her with lithium. The people close to her were holding her prisoner. They were trafficking her, labor trafficking her. Okay, so those people close to her are not credible sources, in my opinion. Again, I suspect, I have a psychic vision, I have a psychic vision that Michael Caine is behind this. It's no facts. It's a psychic vision. I don't know. So the first sentence of the whole article says, Britney Spears is in increasing danger of hurting herself or others, or even worse. So say numerous people in and around her life, and they are scared for her and believe the only path for her long-term survival is another conservatorship. And I don't know why this just came to mind, but Steve-O the failed clown comes to mind. Y'all know he goes and does all kinds of crazy, insane like 2 years ago or a year ago, he jumped off a bridge just to promote a concert. He does stuff that is so gross, so depraved, so detestable at his live shows that people throw up in the audience and pass out. A man passed out, got a concussion. I don't know. I'll put the headline in here. But he's allowed to just run around free willy-nilly. He's allowed to be a propaganda arm for the conservatorship lobby. He's allowed to do that. Because why? Because he's playing along. But Britney Spears said she doesn't want to work. She doesn't want to make money for these people. She doesn't want to do what they tell her to do.
No one can control her. She's out of control on many levels. No one can control her.
Let's see what else they say. Multiple sources. How many? We don't know. Who are the sources? We don't know. TMZ doesn't even freaking bother to pretend like any of these sources are actually reliable. Who are the sources? Maybe it's that weird cracked out doctor that was on here the other week. Couldn't hold his own damn eyes open. Can't keep his own family situation in check. His own son wants to KILL him. I don't know who these sources are, but it is infuriating that they are putting this out here with no evidence. I mean, I could write an article and say multiple sources told me that Harvey Levin is a drunk alcoholic abuser. I could say that because guess what? Multiple sources have told me that, but I never say that. Why? Because I need proof. TMZ don't need proof. Never has, never will. Multiple sources with direct knowledge tell TMZ Britney's mental health has been in a tailspin since the conservatorship ended. It's probably because TMZ won't leave her to hell alone, if I had to guess. They, who's they? No clue. Just they, out in the ether. They say she often is not taking the meds that stabilize her. Well, what do we also know? They put her on lithium against her will, took her immediately off the other medications that she had been taking for years. And they put her on that because she had said no to a dance move. Okay. She basically wanted to have some artistic autonomy over her own body, her own show that had her name on the side of it, not them. They started drugging her and put her on lithium. She said that lithium made her feel drunk. She said it made her feel like she couldn't even speak. She couldn't even advocate for herself. She couldn't talk to her parents. So maybe that's the she stopped taking. And guess what, y'all? If you have some bipolar, have some whatever it is the case that you may have, and you determine that the cons of a medication that you are taking are outweighing the benefits for you, you should have the right to stop taking them, right? If you're taking a medication that makes you feel like you can't speak, you can't talk, we're not getting any of that background. We're getting none of that context. The only thing that this stupid 1 o'clock in the morning article says is they say she often is not taking the meds that stabilize her. That literally sounds like she's not wanting to take those tranquilizer, risperidone, gabapentin type of drugs. That's what it sounds like to me. She doesn't want to take the quote stabilizing drugs because they probably make her feel tired and drunk, just like that lithium.
Then medication can be given to her against her will. Medication, put it in her. If she doesn't want to take it, I would inject it in her. If she doesn't want to take it, I would inject it in her.
We're not getting any of that. We're not getting Britney spoken about like a human. It's a product. It's an object. She's drinking. So what? Nothing is against the law about drinking. They tried to make it illegal. They actually, in fact, did make drinking illegal. And then they had to overturn a constitutional amendment. Okay. Drinking is legal. Britney is allowed to have a drink. Yes, she is. Bam Margera, if he decides to have a drink, he is allowed to. That is legal. Is it a good idea? That's up to Bam to decide. But drinking is legal. So I don't know why TMZ is reporting this in the middle of the damn night, making some interns stay up all night writing this bullshit. And using various drugs, which is especially dangerous because she has a substance abuse problem that sent her to rehab multiple times. We don't know that this is true. I don't actually believe it's true. I think this is defamation and I think it's slander. And I think if Matt Rosengart from the Kabbalah Center was actually worth a shit, he would actually do something whenever TMZ says stuff like this. But he never has. And I anticipate he never will because I anticipate he's working hand in hand in my psychic vision with Michael Caine. Wouldn't it be nice for those guys to just be in complete control of Britney Spears? They saw how much control that Jamie Spears had, that Lou Taylor had, and they thought, that's not fair. I want that for myself. That's what I think happened. My gaslit era is over. This is just my opinions. I don't know. I was not there. I am just a girl on the internet, but I'm gonna tell you one thing. This is not shaking out to look like somebody around her is trustworthy. Britney has radical mood swings. So what? Don't we all? Often she goes into rages. I would probably go into rages had I been through what Britney's been through, had I seen what she had seen. That's not a reason to take away her liberties, and it's certainly not a reason to take away her freedom. These people want to make her a slave. You know, conservatorships are in the probate court. That's where the slavery court was. They want to make her a slave again. It wasn't enough to have her enslaved for 13 years. They need more. It's not enough. They need more control over Britney Spears. They need more power over what she's doing with her body. They need more. They need to be more invasive. It's never enough for these leeches. There are times it's impossible to communicate with her because she can't engage in rational conversation. Well, this is true about me too. So please, nobody tell anybody because I might end up in a conservatorship. Isn't it true? Isn't it true that all of us have reached points in very high stress situations, very high stress points in our lives where it's just difficult to have a conversation about a certain topic or with a certain person without just kind of flying off? Can you imagine if you were enslaved for 13 years? Wouldn't you be a little bit enraged? Give the woman a few years. Give her a few years. I would say we need to give her double the amount of years that she was in the I say we shouldn't judge Britney Jean Spears for 24 years. That's what I say. For 24 years, I guess like now the clock's ticking up. 22 years then maybe. For 22 years, why don't y'all just shut the fuck up? Just let the girl process her shit. No? Harvey Levin has to be too all up in Britney Spears' business. Harvey Levin has to be too obsessed. He can't just let the girl chill the hell out. process her traumas. We got to have news reports about how she's processing the trauma. She can't have a rational conversation. I wouldn't be able to either with these gang stalkers on my ass all day. And neither would you. Neither would you. There's no one on this earth strong enough to do that. What's even more problematic? We got the news, the quote news using the word problematic. We're told her current boyfriend, Paul Solis, a felon, is running her household and her life. TMZ broke the story earlier this month that she and Solis got into a physical fight after a night of drinking at the Chateau Marmont Hotel on the Sunset Strip, where she ended up half naked in the hallway screaming at people. Britney has come out, at least her Instagram account has come out and said that's not true. That's not true. She said she was dancing and she hurt her foot, which I believe because you could see her foot was really messed up. Now, if she did get into a fight with this man, why don't y'all go and make a story about him? This is just using this man's, I guess, alleged criminal history against Britney. Now, am I over the moon about this Paul Solis guy? No. I think he's suspicious. I think he's another handler. I think he's working with them all to set her up. Yes, I do. I don't think very many people that surround celebrities like Britney Spears and Bam Margera are there for their best interest. That's just the truth. I don't. An ambulance was called after Britney hurt her ankle. They also got into a fight in a Vegas hotel room that caused so much damage. Britney paid the hotel thousands of dollars for repairs. And again, I don't know why Britney is fighting with these people, but you know what comes to my mind? Cassie Ventura. That CNN footage, I got another video about that coming out maybe today too, but Cassie was running away from Diddy, and he was literally sprinting, chasing her down the hall like a predator chasing prey, and he's with the towel and she's putting her shoe on at the elevator. She gets snatched by the ponytail. She gets pulled down. So I would like to actually know more about what really is going on in these hotels. Britney's posting these pictures and videos, obviously in different hotels and different hotel rooms late at night, and then she's deleting them. Like, who actually is this guy? What actually is going on? Is it possible they did indeed, in fact, get into a fight, but it was over something else? And here we have TMZ pushing a narrative, which they literally have no way to know. They literally have no way to know. And if they do, they should tell their source that Britney is somehow the one responsible for these fights. Maybe she is, but maybe it's because she's in her maybe it's because she's in her you era. Maybe it's because she's in her I'm not doing any more work for you people. Maybe it's because she's in her I'm not going to be trafficked anymore phase era. I don't know. I'm just saying maybe, because I have about as much information to go off of as TMZ, and they're saying stuff like it's true. You see how that works? The sources with whom we have spoken all say it was a huge mistake to end the conservatorship. Well, I guarantee you the sources they spoke with have a financial interest in Britney being conserved. I'm willing to bet money on it. I don't know. I wasn't there. But the sources saying it was a huge mistake to end the conservatorship are probably people who would make a lot of money if Britney was in a conservatorship. But then they say, oh, but Jamie was no longer the right person to run the show. And I'm starting to develop a theory that this was the plan the whole time, that they knew that Jamie Spears was basically a P. Diddy, like completely spoiled goods. He wasn't working with anyone anymore. He was being kind of a tyrant. He was being kind of a dictator. I am Britney Spears, all of that. So they were like, let's let this Free Britney movement go. Let's just let it happen. And let's eventually spin the narrative that all of that trauma, all of that turmoil, all of that stuff, that all came from Jamie Spears and Sam Ingham. Let's get rid of them two. Let's install instead Michael Caine and Matt Rosengart in place. Jody, whatever her damn name, Montgomery might, still be around. Maybe pull in Jamie Lynn Spears. I'm just starting to wonder if this wasn't the plan the whole time. To not make it seem like Britney didn't need a conservatorship, but rather to make it seem like the people who did have her in the conservatorship were abusing her. And then, no, but she really needs it. And I'm going to say, every time I see somebody saying this shit, I'm going to have to come back and make a video, because no, she does not need a conservatorship. No, she does not. If she has problems now, it was caused by this conservatorship. And that's not the solution to the problem. Isn't more of that. No. Britney Spears was swinging from the rafters, signing autographs, working 5-7 days a week, 2 shows a day, singing, choreographing, all of that, while being drugged, while being abused, no access to her money, no ability to make her own healthcare and medical care decisions. Please, she didn't need a conservatorship then, and she damn sure don't need one now. She needs y'all to leave her the hell alone. Leave her alone. Just leave her alone. And in this paragraph here, they say, in short, her legal fight was a bust because she ended up having to pay Jamie. And it says people around her fear the legal bills and her wild spending are putting her on a path to going broke. But they were not worried about wildly spending Britney's money on Jamie Lynn Spears to take a private plane, were they? on the money from Britney Spears' estate being used to sue alleged fans who were speaking out against Lou Taylor. Britney's money was used for that. I didn't see TMZ upset about that. When Britney Spears' money was being used to pay millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars to lawyers that she didn't need, for her daddy's lawyers, for the lawyers she didn't choose to represent her that weren't actually representing her, TMZ wasn't mad about that. Was she on a path to going broke at that time? Because it seems like when Britney spends her own damn money, she's on a path to going broke. But when Britney is being stolen from and labor trafficked for the benefit of someone else or a whole entire network or group of other people, she's not in danger of going broke then. Interesting. And then they say the point of no return for the conservatorship came whenever a story was reported that Britney's bedroom was secretly bugged. That's the New York Times story, which people in the Free Britney movement, me and y'all, felt like was a gross invasion of privacy. It is. It's a crime. What do you mean we felt? We felt? Yes, it's a crime. It is a crime to do that. Huh? Yeah, we felt it was a gross invasion of privacy, and the law agrees. After that, the cry to end the conservatorship was like a tidal wave, so much so the judge who ended it, shockingly, didn't even order a medical evaluation. Well, it's not shocking if y'all had any damn sense, because they didn't order an evaluation to put her in it either. No, they didn't. If I can find it, I'll put it up right here on the screen, but they said Britney had dementia. And she needed this extra harsh and extra invasive conservatorship, because there's two kinds of conservatorships in California. They didn't want the conservatorship light. They wanted the big daddy conservatorship that let them drug her against her will and every other damn thing else. They needed the big guns conservatorship. And they said the reason was because she had dementia. Dementia. And then they went on to say that they would prove that Britney had dementia before the hearing for the conservatorship. Well, the hearing for the conservatorship came and went. No evaluation was ever provided, and no proof that Britney had dementia was ever provided. Never. So that's what's really shocking, that someone can lose their life, their liberty, their ability to pursue their own happiness, their ability to enter into legal contracts, to choose what they want to even so much as eat that night because of an allegation with no evaluation. So yes, she got into the conservatorship with no evaluation. So it's obvious that she should be able to get out of the conservatorship with no evaluation. Yeah, that's not shocking. The shocking thing is she was put in it in the first place without an evaluation. Stupid ass. TMZ now knows what was behind the bedroom surveillance. Nothing, because it didn't happen. 5 sources with direct knowledge tell TMZ there was never bedroom surveillance. Well, I really do have a hard time believing that the 2 women from the New York Times would have just said they watched hours and hours of that footage and heard hours and hours of that footage, and they didn't. I actually do have a hard time believing that. It became apparent that Britney was getting substances from someone. It was so alarming. People handling the conservatorship went to the judge, who signed an order authorizing the monitoring of Britney's communication devices to determine who was supplying her with DRUGS. Well, if she was getting DRUGS from people, that means y'all was doing a bad job at your job of the conservatorship. The judge believed a drug dealer was fueling Britney's. All of this stuff is just rumors. They're not citing to any date that this happened. They're not providing any evidence that this happened. They're just gossiping. Our sources have asked us to post this story. I'm sure the Lou Taylor, Michael Caine, hell, they did ask you to post this story because they want that money. They're addicted. They're addicted. They're addicted. They're like fiending for the Britney Spears money because, God forbid, they have to develop a talent and go out and work. God forbid the people who have lived off of Britney Spears' work, money, and God knows what else they were selling. God forbid they have to take their one leg and go do something on their own. God forbid Lou Taylor has to actually go and figure out a talent of her own, because the jig is up. It's up. Everybody knows what Lou Taylor and Robin Greenhill did with P. Diddy. Everybody knows what's going on with the Prince estate. And now everybody knows what happened with Britney. So just give it up, stupid ass, you old fucking hag. Just go away to maybe go to Haiti where you got your orphanage or whatever. Okay, so then it says, they believe without people understanding the reason for the surveillance, there would be no way for the judge to have the balls to withstand public pressure to create a new conservatorship. No judge is making a new conservatorship on Britney Spears, mark my words. No. And if they do, everybody will come to regret it, because want to know why? She don't need one. Britney Spears doesn't qualify for a conservatorship. I don't give a fucking shit if she spends every dollar she has. That is why we have bankruptcy. Everybody that's about to go bankrupt needs to lose their rights? No, I won't be convinced. Nope. Every source we've spoken with says if things continue the way they have been going, Britney is in grave danger. We reached out to Matt Rosengart, and of course, he had no words to say to defend his client. Britney says she likes Matt Rosengart. That's great for her. I don't. I don't trust him, and I think he's in on it with him. If he wasn't, he would have done a lot more by now. Now, I reserve the right to change my mind. I don't know what they got going on in the back burner. I don't know what they got going on in the back end. But my psychic vision tells me it's not good. But every time they're trying to push this narrative, I'm making a video. And I'm saying, no, Britney never qualified for a conservatorship. If she did, she shouldn't have been swinging from the rafters making millions, if not, who knows, God knows, even more, multiple millions, hundreds of millions of dollars. If she needed a conservatorship, she should not have been doing that. Conservatorships are for people who are like in a coma, people who legitimately do have dementia who are being taken advantage of. These people are taking advantage of her with conservatorships. That's all I really have for today. In the meantime, facts ain't defamation, and neither are psychic visions. Love you, mean it. Okay, bye.
Something right now because I know you're watching. I will be saying everything you tried to do to me.